Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when you feel like you're stuck, like the world has forgotten about you. The phone doesn't ring, the opportunity seems scarce, and the silence becomes deafening. It's in these moments that doubt begins to creep in. You start questioning yourself, questioning your path, questioning even the presence of God. You ask, why me? Why now? Why here? But let me tell you something powerful. God hides you for a reason. God hides you for protection, preparation, and growth, not as punishment. In those moments when life feels quiet, when you feel overlooked or forgotten, it's easy to misinterpret what's happening. You may think you're being sidelined, pushed aside, or even punished. But the truth is, God sees what you cannot see. He knows the dangers ahead, the battles you're not ready to fight, and the weight you're not yet prepared to carry. So in His infinite wisdom, He pulls you aside not to hurt you, but to help you. Just as a loving parent shields a child from harm they cannot yet understand, God shields you from challenges that could break you if you encounter them too soon. The protection of being hidden is a divine act of love. When a seed is buried, it might feel like it's been abandoned in the dark, but that soil isn't a grave, it's a sanctuary. The seed is safe, free from the harsh elements above ground that could destroy it before it even has a chance to sprout. Similarly, when God hides you, He's shielding you from the pressures and expectations that could overwhelm you if you were exposed too early. It's not about rejection, it's about timing. Just because you're not visible doesn't mean you're not valuable. In fact, some of the most valuable things in the world, diamonds, gold, and oil, are hidden deep beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered in their perfect time. But hiding isn't just about protection, it's about preparation. God doesn't just shield you, He shapes you. In the quiet, away from the noise and distractions of the world, He works on you. He molds your character, strengthens your faith, and equips you with the tools you'll need for the journey ahead. It's in the hidden seasons that your roots grow deeper, grounding you in resilience and perseverance. God knows that for you to stand tall when the storms come, you first have to be firmly rooted. This preparation may feel slow, but it's deliberate. God is not in a rush because He knows that true growth takes time. And growth real, lasting growth requires discomfort. Being hidden can feel lonely and frustrating, but those feelings are part of the process. Growth isn't easy, it requires breaking, stretching, and transformation. Just as a butterfly struggles to emerge from its cocoon to strengthen its wings, your season of hiding is strengthening you. It's teaching you patience, humility, and reliance on God. It's breaking old habits and mindsets that would hold you back from the greatness He's preparing you for. In that hidden place, you're not just growing, you're becoming. You're being refined into the person you were created to be. So when you feel hidden, don't mistake it for punishment. Remember that God's hiding is His way of protecting, preparing, and growing you. It's not about what's being withheld from you, it's about what's being built within you. Trust the process and trust the one who knows exactly what He's doing. The season of hiding builds character, faith, and resilience in ways that are often invisible but profoundly transformative. When God places you in a season where you feel unseen or overlooked, it can be easy to misunderstand His purpose. But this is not a time of neglect, it is a sacred process of internal growth. In the quiet and obscurity, God is at work shaping who you are from the inside out. Character is not built in moments of applause or recognition, but in the hidden places where no one else is watching. It is in these moments of solitude and silence that your true integrity is formed. When no one is there to cheer you on, you learn to hold yourself accountable, to commit to excellence not for others, but for God and for your own development. Faith is another cornerstone of this season. It's one thing to believe in God when everything is going well, but what about when nothing seems to be happening? What about when doors remain closed and opportunities seem scarce? It is in these moments that your faith is tested and refined. You learn to trust not in what you see, but in the promises God has spoken over your life. Faith grows in the tension between your current reality and your ultimate destiny. In the hiding, you cling to God, not because you understand everything, but because you believe He does. That trust deepens your relationship with Him, teaching you to rely on His timing and wisdom rather than your own understanding. Resilience, too, is forged in the hidden seasons. When you feel unseen or unappreciated, it takes strength to keep going, to keep working, and to keep believing. The struggles you face in these times are not meant to break you, but to fortify you. Each challenge, each disappointment, and each delay is a tool that sharpens your endurance. You become stronger, not by avoiding hardship, but by facing it with faith and determination. Resilience is not about avoiding the storms, but about standing firm in the midst of them, knowing that the rain will eventually stop and the sun will shine again. This season of hiding is not wasted time. It is a divine workshop where God chisels away at your flaws, strengthens your weaknesses, and fortifies your soul. You may not see the results immediately, but the growth happening beneath the surface is setting the foundation for the blessings and responsibilities to come. It's in the hiding that you become the person capable of carrying the weight of your future calling. So embrace this season for what it truly is, a time of preparation that is building in you the character, faith, and resilience you will need to walk boldly into the purpose God has prepared for you. Trust the process, for what is being formed in the hiding will sustain you in the revealing. Patience in hiding aligns you with God's perfect timing and plan, a truth that often feels difficult to accept when you're in the midst of waiting. It's natural to want things to happen immediately, to crave the satisfaction of seeing progress and results. But God doesn't operate on human timelines. He sees the end from the beginning, knowing exactly when you're ready to step into the next chapter of your life. The season of hiding is not a delay, it's divine preparation. Patience during this time is not passive, it's an active choice to trust that God is working behind the scenes, even when you can't see the evidence. In the waiting, patience becomes your teacher. You learn to let go of the urge to control and manipulate outcomes and instead lean into the understanding that God's timing is always perfect. When you move ahead of His plan, you risk stepping into situations that you're not equipped to handle. Patience, on the other hand, keeps you aligned with His purpose, ensuring that you enter each season of your life with the wisdom, strength, and resources needed to thrive. It teaches you to value the journey as much as the destination, to recognize that the lessons learned in the waiting are just as important as the breakthrough itself. Hiding also allows God to clear the path ahead of you. There may be obstacles, enemies, or situations that need to be addressed before you're ready to step forward. Patience gives God the space to prepare not only you, but also the circumstances around you. Imagine a play being performed on stage. While the audience waits for the curtain to rise, behind it, the set is being built, the lights are being adjusted, and the actors are preparing. When the curtain finally opens, everything is perfectly in place. That's what patience does. It ensures that when God reveals you, every detail is ready. Patience in hiding also refines your character. It strengthens your faith and builds resilience, teaching you to trust in God's process rather than your own understanding. It humbles you, reminding you that life is not about rushing toward the next achievement, but about aligning your heart and mind with God's will. Patience allows you to focus on the present, to make the most of each moment, and to prepare for the future without anxiety or fear. It helps you understand that God's timing is not just better than yours, it's perfect. When the time finally comes and God's plan unfolds, you'll see how every moment of waiting was necessary. You'll realize that the things you thought were delays were actually moments of grace, protecting and preparing you for something far greater than you could have imagined. Patience and hiding aligns you with that greater purpose, ensuring that when you step forward, it's not just the right time, it's God's time. Comparing your journey to others steals joy and obscures your unique purpose because it shifts your focus away from what God is doing in your life and places it on what He's doing in someone else's. It's a trap that is easy to fall into, especially in a world where other people's accomplishments, milestones, and successes are constantly on display. But comparison is a thief, robbing you of the joy that comes from embracing your own path and the purpose God has specifically designed for you. Every person has a unique calling, a distinct set of experiences, and a divine timeline that cannot be duplicated or rushed. When you compare your journey to someone else's, you're measuring yourself by a standard that was never meant for you. Their blessings, achievements, and challenges are tailored to their life, just as yours are to yours. God is writing your story, and it's unlike anyone else's. Trying to walk someone else's path will only lead to frustration and discontent because you were never meant to be in their shoes. Comparison blinds you to the beauty of your own growth, the lessons you're meant to learn, and the blessings you're meant to receive. It makes you miss the joy of the moment, focusing instead on what you don't have rather than what you do. The danger of comparison is that it breeds dissatisfaction, even in seasons of blessing. You could be in a period of growth, experiencing God's provision and care, but if you're too busy looking at someone else's life, you might miss it. You might think you're falling behind or failing when in reality, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Comparison not only steals joy, but also creates doubt about God's plan for your life. It makes you question whether you're enough, whether you're doing enough, or whether God has forgotten you, all of which are lies. God's plan for you is perfect, and it unfolds in His timing, not according to anyone else's schedule. Instead of comparing, focus on your own journey and trust that God knows what He's doing. Celebrate others without diminishing yourself. Rejoice in their successes, knowing that their victories don't take anything away from what God has in store for you. Remember that their blessings are a testament to what God can do, not a measure of your worth. Shift your focus back to gratitude, thanking God for what He's doing in your life, even if it doesn't look like what you expected or hoped for. Gratitude kills comparison because it reminds you of the good things you already have. Your purpose is unique and your journey is sacred. Trust that God is working all things together for your good, even if you can't see it right now. Stop looking at what others are doing and focus on what God is doing in you. The moment you let go of comparison, you'll find freedom, peace, and joy in the process of becoming who God created you to be. Rest in the assurance that His plan for your life is far greater than anything you could imagine and far better than anything you could compare it to. God's refinement and obscurity prepares you for responsibilities and future storms in ways that are deeply intentional and necessary. When God places you in a hidden season, it can feel like stagnation, but it's actually a time of preparation and transformation. Obscurity is where God does some of His most profound work in your life because it removes distractions and external pressures, allowing Him to focus solely on shaping you. Just as a sculptor meticulously carves away imperfections to reveal a masterpiece, God uses this time to refine your character, strengthen your spirit, and equip you for the challenges and responsibilities ahead. During obscurity, you learn lessons that can only be taught away from the spotlight. It's in these moments of quiet that God builds humility, teaching you to rely on Him rather than your own abilities or the validation of others. Responsibilities in life, whether in your career, relationships, or personal growth, require a foundation of integrity and resilience. These qualities aren't developed overnight, nor are they forged in times of ease. They are cultivated in the unseen moments when you remain faithful in small tasks, disciplined in your habits, and steadfast in your trust in God. Obscurity tests your commitment and helps you understand that true success isn't about being seen, it's about being ready. Future storms are inevitable, and God knows this. In His wisdom, He uses seasons of refinement to prepare you for the trials that lie ahead. He strengthens your faith so that when the winds of doubt or difficulty come, you won't be shaken. He teaches you patience and endurance, showing you how to navigate through challenges with grace and perseverance. Obscurity is where you learn to fight battles that no one else sees, battles within yourself, doubt, fear, pride, so that you emerge stronger, more focused, and better equipped to handle the storms that come with greater responsibilities. This time of refinement also helps you develop a deeper understanding of your purpose. In the quiet, God reveals things about yourself, your calling, and His plan for you that you might have overlooked in busier seasons. He equips you with the tools, wisdom, and strength needed to steward the opportunities and responsibilities He has planned for you. Without this preparation, stepping into those responsibilities too soon could lead to burnout, failure, or missed opportunities. God's refinement ensures that when you do step into your calling, you're not only ready to handle the blessings, but also to face the challenges with confidence and faith. Obscurity isn't punishment, it's protection and preparation. It's God's way of ensuring you're fortified for the storms and ready for the weight of the responsibilities He's entrusting to you. Trust in His process, even when it feels slow or difficult. Know that every moment spent in the hidden place is part of His divine plan to shape you into the person you need to be. When the time comes, you'll realize that the refinement in obscurity was a gift, equipping you to stand firm in storms and steward responsibilities with wisdom, strength, and grace. In life, the hidden seasons are not meant to discourage you, but to prepare, protect, and position you for the extraordinary plans God has for you. When God hides you, it's not a punishment, it's a blessing wrapped in obscurity. It's in these moments that He works on your character, builds your faith, and fortifies your resilience. He teaches you patience, aligning you with His perfect timing and plan while guarding your heart against the distractions of comparison. He shapes you in the unseen places, refining you so that when your time comes, you're not just ready to step forward, you're ready to thrive. Every trial, every waiting period, and every quiet moment is part of His divine process. It's in the hiding that you are strengthened for the storms ahead and equipped to carry the weight of future responsibilities. The hiding is not a delay, but a deliberate act of love, preparing you for a purpose that is uniquely yours. Trust the process, even when it's hard to understand, and remember that God is always working, even when you can't see it. So embrace the obscurity, knowing that it's a sacred space where God is molding you into the person He has called you to be. Your journey is unique, and His timing is perfect. When the moment comes for you to step into the light, you will shine not because of who you are, but because of who He is and what He has done in your life. Stay faithful, stay patient, and trust that the God who hides you will also reveal you at the right time, for the right purpose, and in the fullness of His glory.